This is the Ninja's Way podcast, where we talk all things ninja industry, ranging from top-tier athletes to the local ninja entrepreneur. Listen to their journey to success as they conquer obstacles in ninja and in life. This is the Ninja's Way.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Ninja's Way podcast. I am your host, Allie Johnson, and today I have Dale and Robin from the USA Ninja Challenge. They own the largest ninja franchise in the world right now, so I'm super excited to chat with them today. So you guys have a really rich history that spans both ninja and gymnastics. I'd love for you guys to give me a little bit of the lay of the land of the beginning parts of your story. How did you guys get started in this?
Actually, it starts in Colorado.
Oh, true.
Because in 1980, I took a gymnastics teaching job at the YMCA of Boulder.
Cool.
And I knew nothing about teaching gymnastics. Back in those days, there wasn't computers or YouTube or Google.
Sure.
So I did gymnastics myself. So I was a college student and I took a job and they said, "Can you teach gymnastics to little kids?" And I said, "Sure, I can."
Sure.
And so I just jumped right in and I taught, and that's how I started. And then I met Dale, and he had a friend, a very good friend, whose parents owned a very large gymnastics school. I don't know how many students they had, probably 800 or 900. It was huge. It was very big.
Yeah.
So I started working for them.
Cool.
Moved all around the country, worked at lots of different gymnastics schools, and then ended up in California.
Yeah.
And started work for a man at a gym, and it wasn't my vibe. So I talked to Dale and I said, "I think we should open our own. Let's just open our own." And we were fairly young. I think we were 28 years old. And I had a 6-month-old baby, and decided to start a gymnastics school.
What a time to open a gym.
We did it. So we did it. And from there, that gymnastics school grew to 2 locations. And we ran that for 11 years. And then we decided California was not a vibe anymore for us. So we packed all our things and we moved across the country, and we had absolutely no idea where we were going or what we were doing. We had no jobs. We had no house. We just had 2 children, a dog, a hamster, and a car. So we sold everything and ended up in New Hampshire. We both started working at a local gymnastics school here. Again, decided not our vibe, and opened our own again. And that was Flips. It was called Flips Gymnastics.
Yeah.
And from there, we started in 2011, 2012 or so, just putting ninja classes in Flips. That was the very beginning.
And that's like at really like the very early beginnings of this industry. Like, people don't even realize how young it really is. It's max 20 years old or so. And we just had this explosion of ninja gyms. So Dale, I'd love to hear your backstory. It sounds like you're also in the world of coaching and gym ownership.
Yeah, my friend that Robin talks about in Colorado was actually the bass player in my band,
Cool.
and whose parents owned this gymnastics gym. And I had gotten interested in gymnastics. I used to go to meets and help with scoring, and so this is cool. And then when I met Robin, I'm like, oh, I got to introduce her to these people. And obviously that took off. And when we moved to California in '89, started our own gym because Robin decided she didn't want to work for somebody else anymore. And
Sure.
there was a whole year she was just running this little gym, and I was still working for actually a redwood sawmill company. And then I decided to get involved with gymnastics with her. And to me, gymnastics is physics, and I'm an engineer, so it like completely made sense. I'm like, oh, I could do this.
Yeah.
And I got really interested in the upper end stuff, the competitive stuff.
Yeah.
And Robin's been teaching rec and preschool gymnastics for ever. She's one of the top, amongst the top preschool and rec coaches in the country. And so she held that part down, and I experimented with competition, and pretty soon we had a full-blown everything from 1-year-olds to 17-year-olds competing.
Yeah.
And gymnastics was a great way of life. This is well before ninja or anything that came out of gymnastics came along, and the lifestyle was good. We set our own hours. We could control our own business.
Sure.
And then like in 2010, 2011, us, as well as a lot of our other friends that own gymnastics gyms, started noticing that we couldn't keep boys in the gym anymore.
Yeah.
That was right when all the college programs were dropping their men's gymnastics programs and there was
Sure.
nowhere for boys to go.
Yeah.
And so you'd get a 10-year-old in like in September, and by November they figure out that they can't do an iron cross. And so they're like,
Yeah,
They go
totally.
elsewhere. They do something else. They're like,
Absolutely.
how do we keep boys in the gym?
Was that the motivation from the shift from gymnastics into ninja?
Yeah, the whole original idea was just like, how do we keep boys in the gym? We're losing all these students, right?
Yeah.
And so a friend of ours at a pretty big gym in Massachusetts, we were at a gymnastics meet in December of 2012, and he showed me this video on his phone. They had strapped a GoPro to this kid's chest.
Oh, cool.
And he was running a makeshift obstacle course in their gym. And I like look at him, I go, this is kind of like American Ninja Warrior. And
Yeah,
maybe there's something to this. What do you know? So
sure.
Robin and I and our friend Matt and his family set aside space in our gymnastics gyms, a lot of space. Like we set aside 3,500 square feet and they
Okay.
set aside 25. And he's also an engineer. He's a mechanical engineer. I'm a structural engineer.
Oh,
And
interesting.
when you put a mechanical engineer together with a structural engineer, you get some really cool ninja obstacles.
Yeah, I can
So,
imagine.
you know, and he has his own shop. He and his
Cool.
dad had this long-standing business of making like ancillary equipment for gymnastics gyms and dance studios. And
Sure.
so we're like, let's turn this into ninja manufacturing shop. And we did,
Cool.
and started playing with obstacles and lesson planning. And we had a couple people that worked for us, both us and Matt as well, that were super interested in what we were doing. So we formed this little core group and started running the program and then started doing fun competitions against each other. And then,
Cool.
yeah, and then other gymnastics gym owners are like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
Then we spread the program. We started it as like a license thing. We had no idea we're going to get this big or franchise or anything. We just
sure.
started it as like a fun, licensed, super cheap. Hey, let's just anybody who owns a gymnastics gym, let's put ninja courses together and compete kind of thing. And that was
Cool.
2013 and
2013, yeah.
2014 we
Yep.
did
Yeah.
that. And we got
Big. They were big.
yeah, we got 9 or 10 or 11 gymnastics gyms in New England doing it, and everybody's having a blast with it. And
Cool.
yeah, and then I had a friend who had been in businesses before, pretty large businesses, and had grown them and sold them. And we used to have breakfast together every day. And I go, you guys see what we're doing in the gym. It's really fun. And he said, do you think this is a standalone idea? I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know. So we built the first one standalone outside of a gymnastics gym in March, opened it in March of 2015.
Very cool. So
And
the
the
first,
rest is history.
I love that. So that very first like standalone gym where he poses you this question is, can this be a standalone thing? So was there any other indicators or data that you were looking at or things that you saw that you're like, yeah, this could be a standalone thing? Or was it more just like a gut feeling and you just leaped and went with it?
Bo, I think it's good that we ran the program in gymnastics gyms for a couple of years and
Yeah.
fleshed it out a little bit and tested the waters. And sure enough, boys were like super interested there because not all boys want to be gymnasts, but I can tell you almost all boys want to be ninjas,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And then yeah, and then my girls team, my competitive, like my level 8s and 9s are like, Dale, can we do a ninja? I'm like, no, you have other things to focus on. But
I
Sure.
told them they should be ninjas.
They're like,
yeah,
point your
They should
toes,
know.
point your toes.
yeah.
Put your toes in ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody was interested in ninja, and so
Yeah.
I think when we built that first one, we had a pretty good foundation and knew that we actually thought it was going to be 85% boys,
Yeah.
but turned out to be pretty much 50-50.
There's a lot of
And
girls in ninja,
yeah,
especially in the younger age groups.
yeah.
Yes.
And then we actually outgrew that space. We didn't go super huge because we were still testing the waters. Our first
Sure.
space was like, I don't know, maybe 4,000 square feet, maybe.
Yeah.
And we started with a 3-year lease because we're like, yeah, maybe this will work, maybe this won't.
Sure.
We outgrew it in 2 years. We actually bought ourselves out of the third year of the lease to move it to a larger location, which is
Wow.
yeah, still one of our main franchise locations now. So
Super cool. Tell me, like, okay, you had the first one. What was the progression into actually turning it into a franchise? Like, how soon after did that happen?
so the initial idea was to build, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 company owned, like
Yeah,
what Planet Fitness
the
did, all
corporate
company
style.
owned.
Okay.
And yeah,
Yeah.
and we thought we'll follow that because they're a really cool franchise that also came out of New Hampshire
Mhm.
and they seem to know what they're
Sure.
doing. We'll follow that model. And so we built the first one and started having birthday parties.
Yep.
And we had this couple come up from Connecticut, gosh, only maybe 6 or 7 months after we opened that first one, and to attend their niece's birthday party.
Cool.
And they're like, "You guys gonna franchise this?"
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually. How about now? Because we want one.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they turned out to be our very first location in South Windsor, Connecticut. And they opened in March of 2016. So just a year after we opened ours, we're
Very
like already
cool.
franchising. And we're like,
I
okay.
love that. And isn't that cool? And I see this a lot in the work that I do, but all it takes is just a one really passionate ninja parent to look at that and be like, oh yeah, that I want my kid to grow up in a gym like that and I'm willing to build it to bring it to the community. So
Yeah.
that's very cool. So that happened rather quickly for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. And the reason we always tie back to gymnastics is for a few reasons. And Robin will say the same thing. It's like, our type of business, if you come from where we came from with community oriented business and working with kids and families, and that's what
Yeah,
gymnastics is and has always been.
absolutely.
And we carried that philosophy into developing the ninja program.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, like people get into ninja now and think that it's 4 or 5 years old, and it's
Sure.
not. It goes way back. At least
Yes.
in this country has its roots in gymnastics gyms.
Yes.
Yeah, so you never really want to forget where you came from,
Yeah, I
you
love
know?
that. And it's always good to look back to see how far you have come. And so let's talk about that journey a little bit. So, what were some of the big obstacles, whether they were maybe financial, operational, or maybe just like perception when you guys were getting started out and building USA Ninja Challenge brand?
I think I remember Robin probably remembers too, like standing in the lobby of the gymnastics gym having conversations with parents, and they're like, "Is this just a fad?"
What
Yeah,
even is? Is this
I was told
karate?
it was a
What?
bad use of our time.
Sure.
Being
You
time
still
and
hear that?
energy. Yeah. Oh
Yeah, you
yeah.
still hear that.
Absolutely. Yep.
So
So,
that was one of the obstacles in just educating people
yeah.
as to what we're doing and what it's all about. Even still to this day, people ask what I do, and I'm like, oh, I own USA Ninja Challenge. We're a franchise, and they're like, what's ninja?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
still. And so that's one, and just getting people to understand that we are a sport,
Yes.
that
It is
where
a
its
sport.
roots came from, what it's all about, why it's good for kids. So that was actually probably our biggest obstacle.
Sure.
We bootstrapped this thing from the beginning. We never took a loan. We put in cash and time, and
Blood, sweat, and tears, I'm sure.
yeah, and our business partner put in cash and time. And people ask us, "What's your debt structure?" We're like,
Mm.
"No,
You don't have any debt.
we don't believe in debt." So that part was never really that much of an obstacle.
Yeah.
It was more of getting people to understand what we do and why it's important and why you should own a ninja gym.
Mhm.
The biggest obstacle we have now is really just like we're the leaders and we always have been, but staying in that position, and it's hard to stay in the lead when you don't have cohorts and peers to
Sure.
bounce ideas off of.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we're always expected to know what's going on.
Yeah.
We're out here at the point finding out what's going on. So,
Sure. Yeah.
but again, we're super huge networkers. We support all ninja. just like with the gymnastics gyms, we used to do a lot of collaborative advertising with other gymnastics gyms
Cool.
because gymnastics supports gymnastics.
Yeah.
Soccer supports soccer. Now, ninja supports ninja. So we want all ninja to do well.
Sure.
Even to the point where we're now partnered with the USA Pentathlon.
Very cool.
And yeah, and it was interesting. We had our first annual franchisee conference last week,
Yes.
and we had Kevin Montford, who's the president of USA Pentathlon, who we've been working with for a long time. We've been doing fundraisers for them, and he came and gave an excellent presentation. And even to our owners, who they know that we're partnered with, but hadn't really figured it out. It was so educational for them. What actually is pentathlon? Why is
Yeah.
Ninja in it? How is Ninja going to move through pentathlon and onto being its own sport, hopefully, not this next Olympic round, but the
Sure.
following.
Yeah.
And just looking at the people around the room when he was talking and everybody, the light bulbs were going on. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, I see why we're doing this now.
Absolutely. And there is a
So,
massive opportunity sitting in front of Ninja, right?
Yes.
And it's all kind of culminating to this. Obviously, 2028 is, I think, a big foot in the door for us to really show the spectatorship and the viewership and how cool Ninja is, right? For it to have its own standalone. So you speak about being a trailblazer, right? Being the one that has to have all the answers. Just curious, from your perspective, like, how do you see the Olympic sphere, the USA Pentathlon, like these things, how do you see that interacting with the local Ninja Gym, and how can the local Ninja Gym take advantage of what's going on in the greater sphere of things?
yeah, actually, Kevin and I talk about this a lot. And he brought up a couple really cool ideas that we've been thinking about. He goes, okay, right now, if you want your kid to go to the Olympics with Ninja, you have to be a pentathlete.
Nope.
How do you do that?
Right.
We have figured out how to conquer a couple. Like, all right, you go to a ninja gym. So obviously, promote ninja.
Yeah.
Find a swimming school near you because
Sure.
swimming is one. Running is easy. We can run in a ninja gym.
Yeah.
Then you've got shooting, which is actually a laser gun now. And then fencing. Fencing, I don't know.
Yeah. How does
So
that fit?
here you've got this kid that's going to ninja class, swimming
Uh,
team, fencing class. It's like, meh, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But the idea of starting to at least combine some of those,
Mm.
and then obviously he's a huge networker too, cross promoting, find the swimming schools and the fencing academies near your ninja gym. And you
Yeah.
guys, everybody get together and start educating and promoting pentathlon amongst all of these sports because they're also standalone sports. It's good for
Sure.
everybody. And then when we do break out of the pentathlon into its own individually contested sport, then people already know about ninja.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's the thought process behind how do we get people more involved and educated and pushing toward ninja being the Olympic sport. And then a lot comes up with there needs to be some universalization of the courses of the right of the skill
Yeah.
sets
Yeah.
of and we're so used to that from gymnastics with the level system,
Sure.
the compulsories and the skills that the kids have to perform at certain levels. So I really see that there's going to be the need for a Olympic JO, Junior Olympic program
Yep.
for ninja for kids who want to go to the Olympics for ninja. And I've got my hat in the ring for that. With the boys program way back in the 90s, I was one of the guys that rewrote a lot of the men's program stuff.
Very
And so
cool.
yeah, I would love to revisit that and do that for Ninja. And I think there's a lot of resources out there. I think there's a lot of gymnastics people that know enough about Ninja. I think there's OCR
Yep.
folks that are starting to understand the need for universalization. And we all
Absolutely.
come together and we write the program for the
Yeah.
training program for Ninja.
I've always felt like Ninja does need some level of standardization from my time being the kids competitive director of the Ultimate Ninja Athlete Association. We wrote the first rule book for the UNAA. And part of that was like, okay, this also needs to be accompanied with standardized skills and curriculum. And I think at the time, and maybe Ninja was still just getting its feet, but I think there's maybe this sentiment that ninjas push this standardization away, right? They don't want their creativity to be stifled.
Yeah.
That is so much at the heart of ninja that it's like you could do it backwards, you could do it forwards, you could do it sideways, right? Point A to point B, and you find the way around. And I wonder if there is a world where it's like you can have standardization and then you can also keep the creativity of ninja, and trying to find a blend of those two, because I think that's what it would take for it to be really like universally accepted by the ninja community.
I think we can do both. Kevin showed a video during his presentation on a dual course. It's not standardized yet, but needs to be, so that if it's going to become an Olympic sport,
Yep.
that way a foundation for records to be set. Because you can't set record and then change the course.
Yeah.
So, but he showed a video of, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 different pairs of competitors racing, and it's all about speed.
It is.
Fastest from point A to point B, that's what wins the course. So I think because it's going to go that way, it's going to dictate some standardization.
Sure. Yeah.
But you can have freestyle ninja too, right?
Yeah. And that's where you see the similar in the disciplines of rock climbing, right? You have bouldering, you have top rope, you have belay. And that's where I would see it going, or I would hope to see it going, just so that there is your endurance course, your speed course, your tech course. And like some of these leagues are starting to mirror some of these things, which I think is really cool for the sport as a whole. And hopefully we land somewhere for that to be accepted by the IOC and getting further into the Olympics. Coming back to USA Ninja Challenge, remind me, how many locations are you guys at right now?
We have 42 open.
That's incredible.
Yeah, we'll open another 3, maybe 4 by the end of the year.
Wow.
And then we have another 6 already slated to open in the first quarter of next year.
That is so cool. So you guys are on the road to 50 here pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You hit 50, like what's next?
The general milestones are hit 50 and then hit 100, hit 200.
Okay, cool.
And it's funny because in a lot of franchising, it's like one of my favorite franchises models out there it's a window washing company.
Okay.
And they outfit their franchisee with a van and tools and training on here's how you go get customers. Okay, go. And these guys just explode because it takes a month to get somebody up and running, right?
Sure.
And here we picked this crazy, hey, let's go install a bunch of equipment. Oh, and by the way, we need buildings that have 16-foot ceiling heights. And so it can be a little while from time somebody signs to the time they open, but we're sticking with it.
Yeah, sure. And I can imagine. So just out of curiosity, somebody's interested in opening up a ninja gym or USA Ninja Challenge, like how long from that point till opening day would you say that it takes to actually get a ninja gym open?
Yeah, on the average, just between signing your franchise agreement and opening your doors, on the average is about a year.
Okay.
Because you sign, then you got to find a location.
Yeah.
That can be 3 or 4, 5 months. Then you got to get permits. That can be a month or before COVID, that was like a week. Now it's a month or 2, and then you got your build out and your pre-opening, which is 3 months. But even though a year may sound long, everybody's engaged in working, and there's definitely a lot to do.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you need every second of that time, right?
Yeah.
To get it open.
Yeah. So just that process of opening a business, you already feel like you're in business. So.
Yes. Yeah. And you drink from a fire hose. You learn a lot in that time frame, especially a franchisee owner, maybe somebody who's never owned a business before. So speaking of that, what are some KPIs or key performance indicators that you look at to see if a franchise is performing or not? Or what are some main skill sets that you're really wanting to install into the owner to help them be successful?
Yeah, so the KPIs that we look at, of course, are enrollment. And then bigger than that is retention.
Yeah.
And we'll look at enrollment based on how good is your marketing, how many kids are you getting in the door, how well are you closing those trial classes.
Sure.
Then that's a marketing function. Then there's retention. if you're a revolving door and you've constantly got kids, it's something's up with your coaching. Your coaches aren't retaining kids, the kids aren't having fun, what's going on? So
Yeah,
to us, then that's a training function, and we'll obviously go give help in the training area.
sure.
So those are two of the largest. It's is enrollment and retention. Like any franchise, you have your AUV, your average unit value, and monthly royalties, etc.
Yeah.
But and it's for me, it's like when Robin and I were running a gymnastics gym, it's like, yeah, we want to make money, but you can't make money if you're not making the families happy, right?
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
keeping the kids in. And so there's this, you have to live in both worlds.
Yeah.
I meet franchisors and investors that are just all about AUV, how much, how many. And great, you can do that with a sandwich shop. You can do that with,
Yeah.
but when you're dealing with people's families and lifestyles and sports in particular, and it's all about how well are the kids doing? Are we keeping them engaged? So those are huge for us. And we
Sure.
can pretty much tell how well any location is doing just based on enrollment and retention.
Yeah, absolutely. And Robin, I'm sure you have tons of experience when it comes to like really connecting with kids because, and I say this all the time, but it's like this is a relationship built business, right? And so, how do we train staff to truly build connections and relationships that are lasting, right? Like that they want to stay with a sport. And ninja has, just like gymnastics, has a unique ability to get a kid when they're 3 and keep them
Absolutely.
till they're 13.
Yes,
And if they're
yes.
that bought in, they want to then become a coach. Some things that you've learned over the years from coaching about connecting with students, creating relationships, and how can we distill that into our coaches?
So here's a great story. Our very first customer ever for a birthday party, our gym was not open yet. And we were waiting on the city of Concord or somebody, the fire marshal, somebody to come and give us our video,
Yeah.
to be open, like legally, we're
Sure.
open. We were ready, everything was beautiful, everything was clean. The bathroom has toilet paper in it. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
We're ready for this little girl's birthday party. And this little girl is turning 5 years old.
Mm.
And I had to call this woman and say, sorry, we can't have your 5-year-old's birthday party. It was horrible. I felt
Yeah.
so horrible. And this woman is my very good friend.
Yeah.
Her daughter stayed in gymnastics for 19 years with us.
Wow.
And she coached for us.
So cool.
Ran birthday parties for us.
That's awesome.
Isn't that amazing? So it's the connection.
Yeah.
It's the being kind. It's being understanding. It's actually really caring about your students, your customers. They are not a dollar to me. I could care if you did an interview with someone and I sorry, I apologize. I don't remember who it was. And they said they wanted to give Ninja free to everybody. And
Mm.
that's me. Like I would
Yeah.
love it to open my doors and be free and not
Sure.
because I really don't, I'm not money motivated. It's not one of my core values at
Yeah.
all. I am connection motivated. And I love children.
Yeah. And I think coming from that place, and I think there's some signifiers of somebody who is like that when you're going through
Yes.
your hiring process. And it's like, who
Oh,
are
yeah.
these kinds of individuals that are really just genuinely in it for the connection of the kids? And that makes a big difference in how your product is perceived and how it's delivered on the floor. And you talk a little bit about core values. So I'd love for you guys to share with me, what are the core values of the USA Ninja Challenge? What is the ethos of your business? Like, how do you guys make decisions?
That's an interesting and timely question
Yeah.
because we did a workshop at conference last week with a few of the franchisees that came ahead of time. And we are currently working on reworking our
Sure.
mission, vision, values. And so we got getting a lot of input. We're going to put it out to the next layer as well, too. And the concepts and ideas that were coming from, and these were we had some of our very long time owners there with us, as well as some brand new people that are still going, "Hmm?" But the ideas that were coming out in terms of core value and the words that were coming out were community,
Yeah.
growth,
Cool.
fitness and health, sportsmanship, teamwork, Yeah, it was a fantastic brainstorming session that we did a word cloud out of, and then
Cool.
everybody, yeah, could vote on it. But the two biggest ones, the two largest and most thought of, were community and growth, meaning for everybody. How are these kids growing by learning how to overcome obstacles, both
Mhm.
physically and mentally? How are
Yeah.
they growing on their journey through ninja, through their levels and the skills that they learn? How is your gym growing?
Yeah.
Not just monetarily, but as a community.
Yeah.
How are you helping with community growth and
Sure.
getting out and get involved in your community? So there's these awesome layers. And we've always believed in that, and that's been a big philosophy of ours. But to hear it echoed back with these
Yeah.
franchisees that have been in our system for a while was,
Sure.
was really cool.
That
So,
is really cool. And
yeah.
that's what good core values should do, right? Like they should be something that can be put on a lens of the kid experience and the coach experience and the business owner's experience and the communities at large experience. It should be something that can apply to all of them. But if it doesn't quite apply to maybe one of these niches, maybe it's not one of those core values that like sticks because it can't be applied to everybody. So I think it's really cool that you're talking about, hey, we need to rework this, like we need to revisit this. And I think that people get stuck in their ways, right? What was the indicator to say, hey, we need to sit down and rework this, right? You guys already have longstanding history. You've already been business owners for a long time. So why rework it? What were the things that were like, okay, we need to spend time doing this?
We've been around, USA Ninja Challenge has been around officially when we started franchising for 10 years, almost
Yeah.
10 years. And then for the 2 years before that, and we had mild to moderate growth for most of that time. But in the last 3 years, and especially the last couple of years, we've got some pretty explosive growth.
Yeah.
So we've gotten to that point of, oh, wow, we're this big now. We're too small to be big and we're too big to be small. And we're in that weird growth phase, right?
Yeah.
And so what we decided to do as a whole is, okay, and we have a pretty big staff for our size. We have a staff of a total of 14 right now, and
Okay.
we'll be hiring more. But we also know that we have a lot of folks out there that have run our ninja gyms for a long time, and there's a whole resource for input there. So
Sure.
we have just opened it up to everybody, our staff, and owners, to now work together as a team with everybody's input. Let's all make this bigger together.
Cool.
And so we just got to that point and that next phase, and that's what prompted us to do the conference. We're going to do an annual conference now every year.
Yeah.
We're introducing more training programs, financial training, communication training programs for our franchisees. So this is the point where a lot of emerging franchises lose it. You got to be aware of what's going on with your growth, and then you
Yeah.
have to change and accept that, yeah, we can't do everything ourselves. And
Sure.
may
Yeah.
as well, let's get our franchisees to help because they do know what's going on, and the input and getting them to feel that they are a huge, valuable part of the organization because they are the organization.
Yeah. No, totally.
So we have met just some amazing vendors and service providers, and we've been so lucky in the people that we've been able to network with on the franchisor level.
Yeah.
And now being able to afford to do some of these programs and these things for our people, we've just been really blessed in the company that we've kept and the networking that we've developed and the people that are so on board because everybody's interested in ninja. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's
Yeah.
just, ooh, we want to help you with that. So
Sure.
yeah, so that's why we're just at that point and
Yeah.
we've recognized it.
No, that's very cool. And I think that they're taking the time and the steps to invest in these particular aspects of the business that need that growth is really important. So it's awesome to hear that you guys are doing that at the stage that you're in. So, question for you. What advice, if you were starting over today from scratch, what would you do differently?
If anything,
Yeah.
it's knowing what we know now, hindsight being 2020, we know some of the, and we didn't really fall into any pitfalls. It was just learning curve because we were like the pioneers, like trying to figure this whole thing out.
Totally.
But now we know how to be more efficient
Mm,
with equipment and materials and time and oh, and I think too, I think the most important thing, and a lot of franchisors who are just starting out think that they can't afford or to invest in systems
yeah.
and outside training and outside resources. So that's something that I would have done earlier.
Okay. Yeah.
We work with a couple companies now that really help with our project development and real estate search and
Totally.
all that. And we let them bear the weight of that part of the project now.
Sure.
Probably should have gotten going with them 5 years ago.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Just knowing plan for growth. We always planned for growth, but no matter how much you plan for growth, it's going to catch you off guard.
Sure. Yeah.
Especially when you start to get into that explosive growth phase.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think maybe building the resource network a little earlier
Sure.
is good
And
for
those
any
things
new
can be
franchisor.
really big levers, right? Some of those outside voices or just some of the out of the box thinking, the cutting edge of technology that we have these days, automation, software. And you spoke to the real estate lever as well. And there is so much out there. I think even obviously we're talking in a franchisee sense, but I think even for your local mom and pop ninja gym, they can do more with these tools than they
Oh
are
yeah.
able to do alone. And so finding these resources and reaching out to the right people, I think can be so big for people's growth for that. So I appreciate that you shared that. What advice would you give to somebody who is contemplating becoming a USA Ninja Challenge franchise?
What advice do we give? I think we've gotten to the point where we work with some brokers. A lot of people now find us via our website and organically,
Mm,
but the brokers in our network have championed us and also specialize in youth fitness or youth sports
sure.
or youth activity type businesses. So the people that are coming to us have pretty much already decided I want to work in youth fitness or with youth activities.
Sure.
So then I think the advice from there is just which activity or which sport is A, more near and dear to your heart, B, you can see yourself in being an active part of
Mm,
your business in your community. And yeah, so basically pick, even though you've dialed yourself into I want a youth sports oriented franchise, pick the one that makes the most sense for you.
sure.
Uh, and also be ready and willing to be an active part of your
Yes.
business. Our businesses are active businesses. You can't purchase one of these and then be an absentee owner and hope that it runs itself because
Yeah.
it's not going to do that.
Yeah, and I do work with a handful of other ninja franchises, and that is one of their biggest pain points is if they have an absentee owner, it's really hard to not be in the gym day to day and really see it continue to grow, really keep the culture alive, really put in people who are just like massively passionate about what they do, like having your heartbeat on it. And being a gym owner is not like an easy thing, right? So
Yeah.
I don't want people to think that it is. But the people that do it, and maybe you guys can speak to this because it's interesting. Like you started a gym in this spot and you worked in other companies, but you came back to gym ownership. And so what is it about being a gym owner that just keeps drawing you back in? Like, why this?
Yeah, it gets in your blood and you can't escape.
Yeah, I totally get that.
I just love the kids. They come in and they know almost next to nothing about either gymnastics or ninja.
Yeah,
They're walking in fresh. They're a blank slate. They don't know what a cartwheel is. They don't know what a handstand is.
sure.
And they learn that and their face just lights up.
Yeah,
The thrill
absolutely.
of learning. And gymnastics has levels. USAG has levels, obviously.
Yep.
You know, you get in and you're level 1, then you're level 2, much like karate with the belt system.
Sure.
And ninja, when we were looking at how to, okay, now we got the boys to stay longer. How do we get them to stay even longer?
Sure. Yeah. They
We have
need progression.
They
Yeah.
need progression. Gymnastics has levels, right? You have to test and go to a meet and get a judge to give you a score, and then you're allowed, you've earned your level.
Sure.
Karate, you know, you're in karate and you start with a white belt.
Mm.
It means you know nothing, basically. You're a newbie, you're a rookie. And then you go through all your forms and your tests, and you have to go before a judge in karate, and you get your yellow belt and then your orange belt and then whatever.
Sure.
And so we spoke about that, and we said, what kind of system could ninja have? Should we do a headband? Should we do a band? Should we do earrings? What should we do? And
Sure.
then it was either Dale or Sky or somebody that was in our organization said t-shirts. Everyone likes the t-shirt, and it's advertising.
Oh yeah, sure.
Shirt
And
colors.
it's easy for parents to remember because they got to dress their kid.
Yeah, and then it also, on another level, Allie, it gives you merchandise, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
Because if you have 50 ninja gyms, we could open a t-shirt shop and sell a bunch of t-shirts to them because they have to have them.
I'm sure you guys are moving lots of t-shirts these days.
No, so it's keeping them involved and keeping them excited.
Yep.
Because the minute the desire is flat, like you see it in every sport, the minute soccer's not fun, the minute gymnastics is boring, the minute karate, I don't want to go, I want to watch TV or play video games.
Yeah.
And how do you get them back? It's way harder to get them back than keep them.
Sure. Yeah. And that's an interesting piece because, especially because you guys came from the gymnastics world, I see this a lot with clients that I work with that they're half gymnastics, half ninja, or they have a very small ninja program. And it's like, they just can't quite get the retention piece with their ninja program. It's like a very strong start, good interest, 3 to 6 months goes by. And it's like, they're just churning clients out the door. And I feel like I see this a lot more in micro ninja programs inside of gymnastics facilities because it can become this, I don't know, redheaded stepchild of the gymnastics program, right? Like they don't take the time to have its own curriculum and its own coach training, and it does need its own thing for it to stand on 2 legs. So I'm just curious if you guys have any experience with that when you first started, when it was just a small gymnastics program. What were the things that like helped you keep the longevity, the retention? Obviously, you spoke a little bit about the level system, and I think that has a lot to do with it. But were there other things that you guys noticed?
Yeah, we had the competitions, we called them a June Gym Jam, which was like a little in-house competition with fake judges. Like you'd have somebody with a clipboard and timing kids, whatever. So I guess they weren't fake judges, but they weren't like certified or anything. They were just parents from our gym or staff from our gym. And we had these competitions, and these kids would get so excited, practice and get into their levels. And then because we had the levels, there was like, they were running against their same level friends.
Yeah,
so like the yellow ninja belt wouldn't be running against a purple ninja. That's just not fair. That's like taking a level 10 gymnast and running them against a preschooler. So there was, what's the word for that? There was like, they were equal.
Parity.
Running the course, and they had a chance to win in their little age group, and they were so excited. And if they didn't win, they knew they would just go back to ninja and work a little bit more and get the next level, and they'd get that next ring. Maybe they could do 5 rings, and this week they do 6. And they also, Dale, you might speak to the skill tracker, because we also have a skill tracker system in ninja, very familiar to gymnastics kids, because gymnastics kids have skill charts.
That's a big pain point, right? Because it's we have curriculum, we have skills, we defined it, we have levels. How do we track it?
And how do we reward them? What's their reward? So in ninja, it's a t-shirt.
Yeah.
They're rewarded with a brand new color t-shirt. And these kids are so excited about a new t-shirt. It's not even funny. They wear it all the time. They wear it to school. It's wonderful.
I get excited about a new ninja t-shirt, not gonna lie. So that's very cool.
I'll have to send you one, Allie.
I would love that. I would totally rep it. Yeah, I have my own little ninja t-shirt collection from all these places I've been able to go to. Let's end with this. What does ninja mean to you?
Ninja to me is, I guess I could sum it up with teaching kids how to overcome obstacles, both physically and mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Robin, what does ninja mean?
We talked about this a little bit
Yeah, we
prior.
did.
And ninja to me is connection, it's community, it's fun, it's a place to make new friends. It's a place where you might feel safe, where maybe you might not necessarily want to do a team sport like basketball or football or field hockey, or you might not fit in, so to speak. So ninja, I think really ninja to me is a place where everyone fits in.
Yeah.
And everyone's welcome.
It's the home for misfit kids.
And it's fun. And for me, ninja's freedom. Like, we've built our business big enough that it has given me some freedom in my life to have a smaller gymnastics school, because ninja is profitable and I can have some, income from ninja to make my gymnastics school a little bit smaller and only do babies now and only do the people I really want to teach now. I've taught for 45 years. So now our little flips gym is just for ages one through 7, the ages 1 through 7. And it's very part-time hours, and I'm able to be a Grammy and go to the beach and travel.
I love that.
And so ninja to me, it means a little bit of freedom.
Sure. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. How can people learn about you guys? You learn about USA Ninja Challenge. What's the best place for them to go?
2 places. If they start at usaninjachallenge.com, that's our national site, and they can see all of our locations across the country. There's a link on there to our other site, which is ninjafranchising.com. So that's the franchisor side, and they can learn more about purchasing a franchise, how to contact us to do that, etc.
Sweet. Excellent. Thank you guys so much for your time sharing your story today. And I can't wait to share this with my community.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you,
Allie.
Allie.